Brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Mazda. Bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. And by Nikon. We take the world's greatest pictures.
Today, the classic offensive matchup. The running back, Eric Dickerson of the Indianapolis Colts, 4 consecutive 100-yard games rushing. The quarterback, Bernie Kosar, Cleveland Browns, top rated in the AFC, in his 3rd year in the NFL, and he just turned 24 a week ago Wednesday. And welcome to Cleveland Stadium. It is cold, it is brisk today for the ball game between Indianapolis and Cleveland. A win by either side could separate them in their race towards the playoff. Hello, everybody. I'm Charlie Jones, and this is Jimmy Cefalo.
Charlie, the last time Eric Dickerson was here in Cleveland was about 6 weeks ago, and he was wearing a Los Angeles Rams uniform. But it doesn't really matter whether he's wearing a Rams uniform or a Colt uniform. He's still the best running back in the NFL today. He'll go against a defense this afternoon of the Cleveland Browns. They'll use something called the Bear defense. Why? Because they stole it from the Chicago Bears. It puts 8 defensive men right on the line of scrimmage to try to take away any lanes Eric Dickerson might be able to find.
And for Cleveland, Bernie Kosar having a great year.
He certainly is. Last night, Ron Meyer told us, called Bernie Kosar the smartest quarterback in the NFL today, and at only 24 years of age. Can you imagine? Bernie Kosar has to be smiling this afternoon. When you look at the Colts defense, their front 7, very strong. The questionable aspect of their defense is their secondary. So if you're a smart young quarterback with 5 good wide receivers, you've got to be very happy, and Bernie Kosar is this afternoon.
And speaking of quarterbacks, Jack Trudeau will be the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. This is his 5th start of the season. His record this year is 2-2 as Gary Hogaboom, he has been plagued by injury, and he's out again.
All right, Charlie, this is the 4th major injury that Gary Hogaboom has had since he came over to the Colts just a little bit more than a year ago, actually April of 1986.
The Colts won the toss. They elected to receive Ron Meyer, the head coach of Indianapolis, and what a job he has done. Came there just about a year ago. This time last year, his record is 9-5. And that's since he joined, and of course, Marty Schottenheimer, and he has the Cleveland Browns at 7-4 this year. So Jeff Jager will be kicking off for the Cleveland Browns. And this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. The deep back on the return, the man in the middle, is Albert Bentley. Set to go with two teams contending for the playoff. Bentley circles under it, takes it at the 11. He's out to the 20, to the 31-yard line. So he has 20 yards on the return. We'll look at the offense of the Indianapolis Colts, and it'll be Jack Trudeau that we were talking about at quarterback with Eric Dickerson. The H-back will be Mark Boyer. You'll see a lot of him with Brooks and Booza outside, and Pat Beach, the tight end. That offensive line, and it is an excellent offensive line of Hinton, Hutt, Donaldson, Solt, and Call. And we have an injury as one of the Cleveland Browns is down, and this will give us a chance to check out the Cleveland Brown defense. We're not talking to the press this week, and we'll talk about that as Sam Clancy, Bob Golick, Darrell Sims, and Carl Harrison. Now, what we're setting up here is the Bear defense.
All right, Charlie, that's what we spoke about just a couple of minutes ago. The key to the Bear defense, number 37, Chris Rockins. You see him listed as a linebacker there. Normally plays a safety position, but in that Bear defense, he's got to come up and challenge and play the spot of a linebacker.
And that is number 36, the rookie from Texas, Stephen Braggs, who is injured. Bill Tessendorf, who is the trainer, and John Bergfield, the team physician from the Cleveland Clinic Hospital. They're working with him. And now we'll talk about the defensive backs with Frank Minifield and Hanford Dixon on the corners. And then you'll have only a solo safety. That'll be Felix Wright. That is in the Bear defense.
Right, and the pressure is really on Minifield and Dixon here this afternoon. They've got to cover the wide receivers, man-on-man, one-on-one. They're thought to be the best 2 cornerbacks in football. We'll find out how good they are today.
And Eric Dickerson is the remaining back. Pass far side is complete. Mark Boyer pulls it in, the H-back. And that is only his second reception on the season. They don't go that much to the H-back. He's there to block Hanford Dixon. Made the tackle out to the 37-yard line. Gain of 5. Second down and 5. Now Albert Bentley has come in to that offensive set. And Eric Dickerson comes out. Pass is complete near the first down, 42-yard line. And it is Bentley who caught it at the 42. And we'll take another look.
And the thought for Bentley when Eric Dickerson came over from the Los Angeles Rams that he'd come out of the offense has not been so. He's the running back they'd like to put into the football game to catch the ball out of the backfield. The first running back for the Colts to catch a touchdown pass in 3 years. As you see, makes a nice little move just against his own pattern. They're trying to loosen up the defense of the Cleveland Browns. They know they're zeroing in on the running backs.
And Eric Dickerson now back in as the running back. It is a first down at the Indianapolis 42. Ball game just underway, no score. And here's Dickerson out to the 45. Second down and 7. David Grayson Jr. makes the tackle. Number 56, the linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. And we'll be talking about this young man. This is his first NFL regular season start from Fresno State. His dad, Dave Grayson, cornerback for the Dallas Texans and Kansas City Chiefs and then the Oakland Raiders. And I did his first game in the NFL in 1961. I'm waiting on the grandchild.
That's right, Joe. You go through generations now.
Second down and 7. Bill Brooks in motion. Dickerson back to block, and not that bad a block, protecting the quarterback, and the pass to the far side to Boyer, the H-back. It is incomplete. Ray Ellis was there for the Cleveland Browns.
Now, Bob Golick is really doing a job as the nose tackle for the Cleveland Brown defense. Watch him, number 79, middle of your screen. 3 men are going to block him. That's 53, Ray Donaldson. He gets past him. Ron Solt, 66, in there to get a hold of him. And here's comes back Donaldson the third time to get a block on Golick. He's a bull of a man, and they've got to block the nose tackle if they're going to be good against this Brown defense. He's the key to it.
Third down and 7 with now 5 in the secondary. Trudeau, a little shovel pass underneath to Bentley. And the defense holds. 4 to the 49. It'll be 4th down and 3. Chris Rockins makes the play, and that means that the Colts will be kicking. Ray Ellis was also there for Cleveland.
Now, Bentley lined up in the right slot. He's kind of trying to sneak around here. Watch him try to sneak through the line of scrimmage. They send Dickerson to the other side. It's that little shovel pass, the Utah draw, as they call it. Hairston gets pulled out of the way, but hit number 75 does not get the block, and that allows the linebacking crew of the Browns to come in and make the play on Bentley.
Ron Stark will be kicking. Mark Walzak will be snapping. Gerald McNeil is the return man. Takes it at the 18-yard line and has 3 yards on the return to the 22-yard line where John Holt makes the tackle. A 33-yard kick, a 3-yard return. We have no score. We'll be back in a moment. That's a dog bone from the Dogs, the defense, and you have one of the great statistics of all time.
You know, they've been throwing a lot of biscuits for the pound for a long time, and they asked the fans not to throw them around. After the last game, they only found 22 biscuits on the field, which is down considerably from previous games. So the fans there in the dog pound are doing a good job of keeping their arms in their pockets.
The dog pound, of course, the end zone to our right.
And that a reference to the barking defense, the defensive backs especially, of the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland, first down for their own 22-yard line. Kozar hands off to Kevin Mack. And Mack plows to the 31-yard line. So the Browns open with a gain of 9. It'll be second down and 1. Let's look at that offense with Bernie Kozar at quarterback. Biner and Mack are the running backs. Langhorne and Slaughter the wide receivers, and Ozzie Newsome the tight end. Ozzie Newsome has not fumbled the ball since 1980. Are you ready for that? Paul Farron, Larry Williams, Mike Babb, Dan Fike, and Cody Risen, the offensive line that has allowed just 3 sacks in the last 4 ball games.
And that's saying something with a quarterback like Kozar, because he's not the quick-footed guy that you want as a quarterback. So offensive line doing that kind of a job, remarkable if Kozar as a quarterback.
Second and 1. Viner picks up the first down to the 35-yard line. He's stopped by Byron Darby, the nose tackle. Darby replacing Jerome Salley at that position with Donnell Thompson and John Hamm as the defensive ends. Cooks, Odom, Krause, and Beckett, the linebackers for the Colts. And in the secondary for Indianapolis, we have Tullis, Daniel, Glasgow, and Pryor. First down Cleveland at their own 35-yard line. No score. We're 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the ballgame. Kevin Mack. Play action fake to Mack. The pass is tipped. It is incomplete. It will be second down and 10. Mack, the intended receiver, Cliff Odom, was there for the defense. And let's check out the 10-minute ticker. No score between San Francisco and Green Bay. Giants early lead on Philadelphia, Seattle, and Pittsburgh. Scoreless in the first. No score Washington, St. Louis, San Diego at Houston, and Atlanta at Dallas. Kansas City and Cincinnati scoreless. Detroit 3 up on the Rams. We have another injury, and we've got a timeout with no score. We'll be back in just a moment to Cleveland Stadium.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Santa, come see what I'd like for Christmas. I really like Radio Shack's Pop Time Watch. And look, a Red Fox racer for my little brother. My big brother and sister would love Two-Gun Laser Shot Game. And my favorite is the Teddy Cockatoo Bear. He really talks. You do have all this stuff at the North Pole, don't you? Don't you?
Incredible toy values for Christmas from only $2.59, only at Radio Shack.
14 Bob Cousy.
If you had all the experience of yesterday, with all the skill and innovation of today, you couldn't lose. Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Carry the caring card.
Lady Stetson, you're free, playing in the big leagues. Country proud, with a fragrance all your own. Lady Stetson, an exciting blend of contrasts, like America itself. Lady Stetson.
New from Black & Decker, the Air Station. It has all the pressure you need to inflate anything. Fast. The Black & Decker Air Station. Always at your service.
Here's a look at the injury. Mack right here coming out of the backfield. Now he's the one that gets banged up. It's Odom coming across to try and help out. Watch him get his leg bent underneath. The left leg of Mack gets turned underneath. He was carried off the field just a few moments ago. Bad news for the Cleveland Brown offense.
And he's replaced by Tim Manoa, the rookie taken in the 3rd round from Penn State, as they work on Mack on the sideline. Of course, as soon as we have a report, we'll be updating it to you. Second down and 10. Cleveland from their own 35-yard line. As Viner goes in motion and Kozar back to throw. Downfield pass is complete at the 49-yard line, first down. A gain of 14 yards on the play to Brian Brennan. Willie Tullis thought maybe he took it on the short hop, but it's going to count.
Well, the book on Brian Brennan is good concentration and terrific hands. Willie Tullis doesn't agree with the call. Actually, Kozar just a little bit underthrown, but he's got man-to-man coverage with him. Brennan makes a nice job of coming back to the football. Difficult to tell from that angle, but it appears that Brennan did indeed sneak his hands underneath and come up with the catch.
They'll mark it at the 50-yard line, first down. Kozar play action fake on first down. And this one is incomplete. Webster Slaughter, the intended receiver.
And a perfectly thrown ball that Slaughter should have come up with. He had a little bit trouble trying to break on the turf. That's something we should address, Charlie, here at Cleveland Stadium. The weather has not been the greatest here. Here's another look at the catch. You'll see slipped directly through his hands. His concentration may have been taken away because he had trouble cutting on this very soft and loose turf.
Meanwhile, Eugene Daniel was beating on it from the backside. Yes, we will. We'll talk. They still continue to work on Mack. We'll be talking about the turf. Where the Browns work out at their facility, they say the field there is identical to this one, which means it's a very poor field. That's what it is. But they kind of like it that way. Tim Manoa gets the call. He'll have a couple of yards to the 48-yard line of Indianapolis. Byron Darby stops him there. And it'll be 3rd down and 8. And Tim Manoa, of course, we saw him in the Fiesta Bowl playing with Penn State. They wear the very plain white helmets. And now he's wearing a very plain Cleveland Brown helmet.
That is his Penn State helmet, John. He just took it and they just painted it a different. It went from boring to boring.
3rd down and 8. He was so excited in the Hula Bowl because it had names and fancy numbers, everything on his uniform. And that one. Kozar back to throw. As pressure goes deep, has his man. Good defensive play. Little underthrown. Slaughter, the intended receiver, and Eugene Daniel caught up to it.
Slaughter had him beat on what they call the post corner, Charlie. Had him turned completely around, and a little underthrown. You're absolutely right. A little bit too much air under the football, and that allowed Daniel to come back and knock it away just at the last moment. But Slaughter won the battle against Daniel.
And George Winslow will be kicking. And Bill Brooks is set for the return. High and short. Taken at the 17-yard line. And he goes down at the 18-yard line. I'm not sure if he lost his footing or if he just did a quarterback slide. Frank Winters had the coverage on it. 30 yards. 1 yard on the return. Timeout. We'll be back. The Colt offensive line outweighing the Brown offensive line by 11 pounds. Height, they're both tall. Average is 291. No score. Colts first down at their own 18-yard line. Boyer, the H-back, and here's Eric Dickerson. He gets around the corner and out to the 24-yard line, so he has 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And for the Colts, first down is so important because in reality that sets up Dickerson on 2nd and 3rd. They can control the ball game with the running attack. Bob Golick makes the tackle. Week 7 against the Browns. 7 carries for Eric Dickerson, 38 yards. The long was 27 yards and a touchdown. Remember, that was his last game with the Rams, and wasn't that enthusiastic about playing. Didn't play that much, had the mysterious thigh injury. Since then, and since he's come to the Colts, it's been an entirely different story. And here he is on the counter back, slips the tackle, first down, breaks it out to the 32-yard line. 8 yards.
And this is what makes Dickerson the best back in the NFL. Not only does he have the great speed, but watch him break the tackle. Little misdirection. They have the guard pulling through the other side. Watch, by all rights, he should be down and tackled now. He breaks the way through 2 linebackers before eventually being pulled down by Wright in the secondary and for the first down.
He averages 4.6 yards a carry. The average up a little already. 3 carries, 16 yards. First down. Jack Trudeau, the quarterback for the Colts. That's Bouza. Pass is complete to Brooks. Brooks scrambles just across the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 41. It'll be a little over 8 yards on the play. Ray Ellis makes the tackle, and it'll be 2nd down.
The life of a rookie linebacker in the NFL is not all that pleasant on occasion. Number 56, that's David Grayson, as Charlie mentioned, his first start. Watch him go downfield to try to pick up the wide receiver coming across, but they run a little pick, and he's got stuck on Brooks, number 80, coming down. Now watch him go after the tackle. Whoops, that's the 2nd miss for him on the afternoon. He had made 7 tackles last week against the 49ers in a sub role. He can play some football. He'll get better on the afternoon.
2nd and 3. Here's Dickerson. And this time the Brown defense does what they want to do. Take him, if he's going to play to the outside, take him all the way to the sideline. Otherwise, try and filter him back inside where some traffic can pick him up. And it was Hanford Dixon that made the play. San Francisco leading Green Bay by 7. Giants up by 7. And Pittsburgh over Seattle by 3. Those are all, of course, in the first quarter. No score, Washington, St. Louis. Houston, a 55-yard fumble return for a touchdown to lead San Diego 7-0. Atlanta over Dallas 14. Wait, Atlanta over Dallas in the first quarter 14-0. And there's the surprise. Kansas City, Cincinnati, no score. Detroit up on the Rams by 3. Atlanta leading Dallas first quarter.
Yeah, that's a surprise. Atlanta.
That's a major surprise.
Has played very poorly since the strike. In fact, we had them a couple of weeks ago, as you remember, Charlie, against Cincinnati. And they've had their problems.
45-yard line. No score here between Indianapolis and Cleveland. First down for Indianapolis. The Colts have been averaging over 5 yards per first down opportunity. 4 plays, 21 yards total on first down. Just over that 5-yard. Boy, that's a big key for Indianapolis. Trudeau drops it over the middle. It's Booza to the 50-yard line. Gain of 5. It'll be second down and 5 as Anthony Griggs makes the tackle. Cold, overcast day in Cleveland. Wind chill factor at 27 degrees. For Atlanta, that Atlanta-Dallas game, a Campbell to Dickerson 28-yard touchdown pass and a fumble recovery and a return of 20 yards on the kickoff. The 2 touchdowns for Atlanta. So the special teams got one of them. And here's Dickerson with that opening, has the first down. 42-yard line. Mike Johnson with the tackle. He's like a keg of dynamite. Talking about Eric Dickerson. You know it's going to go off, but you don't want to be there when it does. Marty Schottenheimer, that was when we were visiting with him yesterday in his office. He said, let it happen after the game is over.
And this is the second time in a different uniform that he's had to face him this year. That's a nightmare for a head coach, especially when he's a defensive guy.
First down. Trudeau, 5 of 6. 27 yards. Dickerson, 5 carries, 30 yards. And the dogs are barking. That's the defensive. Okay. Dickerson is stopped. At the 42-yard line of Cleveland, it will be second down and 10. Mike Johnson makes the tackle along with Clay Matthews. And for an update, let's go to New York and NFL Live.
Charlie, the Oilers have the blitz on Dan Faust. Here comes Keith Bostic from his safety position, jars the ball free. Jeff Donaldson can't pick it up, but Robert Lyles does. A 55-yard fumble recovery return for a 7-0 Oiler lead over the Chargers in the first quarter.
Second and 10, second and 11. Trudeau, far side, it is incomplete. Booza, the intended receiver, so it'll be third down. No score here. We're in the first quarter with just over 4.5 minutes to go in a very fast-moving ball game.
You would think that Jack Trudeau subbing for the injured Gary Hogelboom today wouldn't be the experienced quarterback, but this is kind of like having a 1-2 punch, actually. Trudeau has started 16 football games for the Colts over the past 2 years, so he has the experience, and it doesn't take that much experience to hand the ball off to Eric Dickerson anyway.
Third down and 11. Albert Bentley is the remaining back in the one-back offense of the Colts. Bentley gets the call. 40-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 8 as Felix Wright makes the tackle.
Carl Harrison is a big reason why this Cleveland defense is playing so well. There he is, number 78. Hey, he's the old crafty veteran. Watch him get dumped, though, by Solt, number 66, coming over. But he did a good job because he turned Bentley inside. He had the pursuit coming from that angle, and so he had a large part with keeping Bentley inside.
Ron Stark will be kicking. Cleveland has asked for a timeout. Just counting to see if they have enough men. We've got a timeout. We'll be back. Jones and Jimmy Cefalo in Cleveland. Ron Stark will be kicking. He's had some problems kicking this year.
Yeah, he has. He says it began during the strike. He was kicking on his own and into the wind quite often, and he was trying to kick across the football to cut through the wind. Well, that took him away from kicking through it, and his average has dropped about 6 yards since then. He's had his problems, but of course the Colts aren't worried about him. He is the most proficient kicker in the history of the NFL, Charlie, over 45 yards per kick during his career.
Also, he's had his problems kicking outdoors. His average is about 4 yards less than indoor. Fair catch is called for and taken back at the 4-yard line. John Holt is the man who took it there.
And that will not draw a big hand of a round of applause from the Cleveland sideline. You never call for a fair catch inside the 5-yard line.
Now, Bernie Kosar, the waving there, and that's the dog pound. And that's where all the crowd comes from, and all the noise, and all the excitement. Not all of it, but a great part of it. And so he was, say, stay a little low so they can hear me in the huddle. Don't take me out of the ballgame.
He's a soft-spoken young man. You don't want to make him raise his voice in the huddle.
Cleveland from their own 4-yard line. Weiner and Manoa are the two running backs. The preliminary report on Kevin Mack, it is a bruised knee. If that works out, Then they will bring him back in the ball game. Does he hold on to it? No. Juggling reception by Webster Slaughter. Almost had it. It is incomplete. Take it back to the 4. Be second down and 10. They're picking on Eugene Daniel. They're really going after him.
They sure. What a move on the part of Slaughter here. Take a look at it from Bernie Kosar's point of view. What he did, the play action fake there was timed with Slaughter doing a stop and go pattern. He made a little move in front of Daniel like they was going to run the curl, and then he went right by him, and they beat him badly. A nice throw by Kosar. Once again, Slaughter has got to make that catch. Yes, he laid out a little before it, but he's got to make that catch.
And what a great shot. What a great replay shot. Right through the eyes of Kosar. And here's Tim Manoa. He goes to about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. Dwayne Bickett makes the tackle.
And one of the reasons we mentioned their front 7 is so strong and good in the NFL. This Colt defense is number 50, Dwayne Bickett. Take a look at him. He leads the team in tackles, sacks, quarterback pressures. He's got Ernest Biner, number 44, coming at him, but he beats him and still has enough strength and speed to get the outside to get a hold of Manoa. There he is. Now, I'll tell you, Biner is a big, strong young man, and yet he bounces off him and has enough speed to run Manoa down on the sideline. Nice play by Bickett.
Third down and 8. Cleveland with 4 wide receivers. Pass is completed close to the first down. They'll have the first down. Webster Slaughter picks it up. They needed 8. I think he got 9. Terry Wright with the tackle. Check of the other game. San Francisco leading Green Bay. Giants still up by 7. Seattle and Pittsburgh now tied. They're in the second quarter at 3-3. No score Washington, St. Louis. Houston still on top of San Diego. Atlanta. Oh, that's unbelievable. Leading Dallas in the first quarter 14-0. No score Kansas City, Cincinnati. Rams and Detroit now tied at 3. First down, Cleveland. Biner out to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Donnell Thompson making the tackle. Cleveland last week, in their third down opportunities, converted only 1 of 10. They're 1 of 2 today. And Kevin Mack back in the ball again. So that's good news for the Cleveland Browns. No score with 1:45 left to go in the first quarter here at Cleveland Stadium. Indianapolis tied with Buffalo and Jets for the lead in the AFC East. Cleveland a game up on Houston in the AFC Central. Kevin Mack. 5 yards to the 25. Barry Krause makes the tackle. Third down and a yard.
And they didn't waste any time finding out if Kevin Mack is indeed completely healthy. He looked fine on that.
Might as well know. What happens in a situation like that when you come back in, you know, after you'd been, when you were playing, you'd been injured, and did you want to find out?
Yeah,
you want to find
right
out
away.
also?
Yeah, I think you want to touch the football as soon as you can to find out if you're indeed healthy enough to continue, because you don't want to be on the field with an injury, and your teammates certainly don't want you there either.
Double tight end on the set, third down and 1. Flags are down. Mack with the carry, and the flags and whistles sound. He may have had jumping before the snap. First flag of the ball game.
Number 70, offense.
On the left guard, Larry Williams.
5 yards, still third down.
That is the first flag, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we've
that may tie an NFL record.
Yeah, Larry,
of 14 minutes and 13 seconds before the first flag.
Larry Williams still thinks there should be one out there. He's arguing about that call. But he's done quite a job. For the second straight year, Larry Williams has taken over for Bolden inside. Ricky Bolden was injured earlier in the season, same thing as a year ago, and Paul Farron moved from his natural guard spot to the tackle position. So Williams and Farron worked that side very well and done a good job for Mack and Biner so far.
So it's now 3rd and 6 with a penalty and 4 wide receivers in the ballgame for Cleveland. Biner the remaining back. They'll be throwing. 4-man rush over the middle. Pass is complete. It will be short of the first down by about a yard. 25-yard line. Brennan pulled it in, and John Holt brought him down at the 25.
A lot of what Lindy Infante, the offensive coordinator of the Browns, does has to do with option patterns. Now let's take a look at Brian Brennan, number 86. He's going to come underneath the coverage. There he is, down below. and his job is to find an open area and simply run to it. He does, but does not get enough for the first down as the defensive back comes over, makes the tackle, and the Browns will have to punt it away. At the end of the first quarter, we'll be back. Defensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns, and he's a good one. He has some definite ideas about the way to run an offense, a spread of formation. And receivers have difficulty playing in his system sometimes for a number of reasons, Charlie. They have to accept a limited productivity. He uses a lot of people. They spread all over the football field. And when you take a look at what Bernie Kosar has done with his receivers, Slaughter's got 27, Brennan's got 30, Langhorne's got 14. He spreads the football around. And sometimes if you're a star wide receiver, you want to catch it a lot more often than that.
Winslow to kick. We were just checking during the timeout at the end of the quarter. Cleveland was trying to get the kickoff before the end of the quarter. But there's not that much wind. It is fielded by Bill Brooks, and he is down in his tracks. Outstanding special teams play by Mark Harper. 40 yards on the kick and -2 yards on the return. A flashback this week. Practice. It's not the Colts practice. That's Mike Pagel. Used to be with the Colts. Now with Cleveland. He came out to Friday practice.
And I think the Colts,
Colts uniform.
The equipment manager better check to find out if he's missing his spare number 18 jersey.
The whole uniform. How can you leave with a whole uniform?
You got a big bag, you can leave with the whole uniform.
No score. Here's Eric Dickerson from the 34-yard line of Indianapolis out to the 39. Gain of 5, second down and 5. Bob Golick with the tackle, and the Colts continue to reel off in the area of 5 yards on every first down, which in reality sets up their offense.
Well, that's been the success of the Colts so far this year. They're averaging about 4.6 yards per carry. And there's Mike Pagel for you on the sideline. You see, he really does wear number 10 for the Cleveland Browns, not number 18 for the Colts, at least not anymore.
And he has been activated this week as a holder for field goals and extra point attempts. Flag down. Dickerson with the call. He's down at the 40-yard line. If the play stands, it's worth the yard. Eddie Johnson was there for Cleveland. But we'll go back to the marker. Dick Jorgensen is the referee.
Illegal motion, number 84, offense, decline.
That's on Mark Boyer, who is the H-back. He is listed also as a tight end. He's a pretty good receiver, but basically he's there as a lead blocker.
All of the tight end H-back types that the Colts employ happen to be good blockers. Not the greatest receivers in the world, but again, they're there to open up the hole for Dickerson.
Third down and 4. Trudeau, it is incomplete. Pat Beach, tight end, intended receiver. And it will be 4th down. And we have a little pushing contest on the far side. And for Dixon had the coverage for Cleveland. And it's 4th down and 4. And Ron Stark will be kicking.
Here's the bumping going on. It's 81 Pat Beach and number 29 Hanford Dixon. Now the play is over, and that's what Beach was complaining about. Dixon comes over and gives him the shove. And the dogs of that Cleveland defense, they like to bark. Dixon and Minifield, they'll bark in the face of a receiver or two. You don't know if that was going on down there, but certainly you'll see a lot of pushing and shoving when the dogs are on the field.
This one just hangs up but still takes a roll. He goes down near the 10-yard line, so it turns out to be a pretty good kick. 49 yards. It's a very good kick. Timeout. We'll be back.
Today's game is brought to you by Radio Shack, the technology store. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by the power tool people at Black & Decker.
This is Charlie Jones, Jimmy Cefalo. No score between Indianapolis and Cleveland with 13:34. That is the time remaining in the first half, and Cleveland has the ball at their own 11-yard line. Kosar has completed 3 of 7 for 29 yards. Very conservative, basically a defensive battle thus far. And here's Kevin Mack, bad knee and all, out to the 17, maybe the 18-yard line as Mike Pryor makes the tackle. Let's check the other games in progress. San Francisco leading Green Bay by 7. Giants continue to lead Philadelphia. Seattle and Pittsburgh tied at 3-all. Washington now up 10 over St. Louis. Zendejas added a field goal for Houston. They lead San Diego, and there are the other scores. Second down and 3. And we have no score between Indianapolis and Cleveland. Kevin Mack. A couple of yards to the 20, so it'll be third down and 1. Byron Darby, the nose tackle, makes the stop. Third down and 1. The third down and nemesis for Cleveland against San Francisco, converting only 1 of 10. But in reality, that's kind of a misnomer because you know, when you're that, then you're third down and 7 and third down and 8 and third down and 12. When you have a lot of third and 1s, you can convert a lot.
It's indicative of the unsuccessful nature of your whole offense over a game. But 1 out of 10 means you didn't do a good job on first and second down.
And if you don't convert, then you didn't do a good job on third also. Needing a yard, and Kevin Mack had it. Cliff Odom with the tackle.
You're not really seeing a lot of the Cleveland Brown offense so far, Charlie, for a number of reasons. Their field position has been horrible. They began 3 drives so far on the 22-yard line, the 4-yard line. This drive began at the 11th. And now they get a little bit of breathing room. You might see a little bit more offense by Lindy Infante and his troops.
And Cleveland on third downs, 2 of 4 today. Kozar. Incomplete at the 30-yard line. Ozzie Newsome, the intended receiver, and Cliff Odom with a good defensive play was there. So it'll be second down and 10. The ball at the 23.
We mentioned that Cleveland offensive line. They did a good job a week ago. In fact, the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's had just 3 sacks in 4 ball games. Watch them take a hold of Bickett and push him out. That's number 74, Paul Farron, doing the job on Bickett, keeping him far enough away and giving Kozar plenty of time to get the ball off.
Second and 10. First sack of the ball game. Johnny Cooks, his third on the year.
No sooner do we say it than here comes the first sack of the afternoon. And sometimes they'll put Johnny Cooks down on the end of the line. They'll go to a 4-man line. Not this time. He's playing a linebacker position coming inside directly up the middle. They had a little game on. He came inside of the tackle right up the gut to get to Kozar.
That is only the 4th sack in the last 4 ball games that the Browns offensive line has given up. The field conditions don't slow me down. I have only 1 gear. That's what Bernie told us yesterday. Third down and 18. And here's that gear sidearm. Intercepted, headed towards a touchdown. They're going to say no. They're going to rule the play down at the 26-yard line. Eugene Daniel went to the end zone. Kozar should not have thrown the ball. He made a bad decision. And are they going to say no, that it touched the ground? It was incomplete.
They may be able to say that Johnny Cooks had grasp and control. Does he? He's got grasp, and I think he's got control as well. He's on his way down when he throws the football. That's for the protection of a quarterback, and he does make the catch. That's a clean catch by Daniel.
Yes. So the ball at the 13-yard line. It is 4th down, and that means that George Winslow will be kicking it away. So the rule of grasp and control saves a touchdown. And here's Bill Brooks. He stays away from it. It kicks back. The ball is touched. And the Indianapolis Colts will have excellent field position. We have no score. Only a 24-yard kick. We'll be back. Doug said Kozar grasp and control. A week ago in the Cincinnati Jet game, we'll take another look at it. Cincinnati threw a touchdown pass, but Esiason was in the grasp and control of Gastineau, and they called that one back. So they were really watching the grasp and control call. Billy Brooks makes a good move to the outside, turns back inside. A flag is down. He is close to the first down. Frank Municipal with the tackle. It was a first down for Indianapolis at the Cleveland 37-yard line, so they start this drive with outstanding field position. And may have picked up the first down here.
Face mask foul, number 31, defense.
They'll add a face mask yardage to the end of it against Municipal. And the ball will go down near the 20-yard line. Mark it at the 21, first down. And so the Colts already in field goal range, and this is what the defense is plotting on the sideline as they're going over the options of the Cleveland offense when they get back on the field. Here's Trudeau. Almost intercepted, then almost caught. Clay Matthews came ever so close, and then Mark Boyer, the H-back, almost got it on the rebound.
Well, Trudeau is staring out there in the flat, and that's exactly where Matthews goes. He catches this football, and it's gone. Matthews reading the eyes, the old crafty veteran reading all the eyes of Jack Trudeau. If he doesn't turn his head to the other side of the field, Matthews is going to follow it along and pick one of those balls off.
Second down and 10. Of course, Matthews has done that earlier this year at the Cleveland 21. There's Dickerson. Dickerson to the 16-yard line. Second week of the season. Clay Matthews. We go back in time. Flashback, week 2. 26-yard interception return. This is against Pittsburgh. One-hand grab.
And that was a great catch on that one, Charlie. He would have had 2 for his score if he could have picked the last one off.
As we come back live, it is third down for the Colts at the 16-yard line. Third down 5. A little bit of confusion, and yes, they'll take a timeout. Trudeau was checking off. No, they're going to call him. He got caught on the 30-second clock. He turned around to make sure that Eric Dickerson, the running back, knew Dickerson kind of lead right. You knew that they were in trouble. When he came back, all the time was gone.
Delay, offense, still third down.
Question. At the 16-yard line, 3rd and 5. In that situation, in reality, better to take the 5-yard penalty or to use up a timeout?
No, I would use a timeout. I mean, this is a scoring opportunity for them. You might as well use the timeouts when you need them, and they needed one at that point. Now you've got a 3rd and 10 down situation. You take Eric Dickerson out of the football game. 3rd and 5, I like Dickerson. 3rd and 10, he better throw a football.
Albert Bentley is in the slot on the right side. Pat beats the tight end as the flanker left. Here comes the blitz. Outside to Bentley, and he is down at the 16-yard line, so they get the 5 yards back on the penalty. It'll be 4th down and 5 as Felix Wright makes the tackle, and that means that Dean Biasucci will come in with a field goal attempt. He has hit 17 of 20 this year, his long being 50 yards. Ron Stark is the holder. This is from 23 yards away, an attempt of 33 yards. Well within his range. Doesn't have the footing outdoors that you have indoors. On a very rough field, it is up, and it is good from 33 yards away. So the Colts are on the scoreboard. They lead Cleveland 3-0. The reaction of a head coach when your team messes up. This was not the field goal attempt. This was on the when they ran out of time.
Right, with the inability of Trudeau to call the timeout. And what he's probably saying is, look, call the timeout, get it called so that we can line up again, decide what we want to play. They really cost themselves the possibility of going in for a touchdown. They had 3rd and 5 in this situation. They wound up with 4th and 10.
And you made the key point. They take Eric Dickerson out of the ballgame at that point.
Right. I like Dickerson on 3rd and 5. Maybe the only time in the NFL I like 3rd and 5 with the running back. That's Dickerson.
And here is Glenn Young from the 3-yard line on the kickoff return. He's a good returner out to the 25-yard line, and let's check the scores in the NFL. San Francisco now by 13, Giants by 7, Seattle pulling away from Pittsburgh in the second quarter. Washington by 3. Houston 17-0 over San Diego. For the Chargers, if they lost today, that would be 3 in a row. Atlanta 14-3 in front of Dallas. Cincinnati comfortably in front of Kansas City, the second 10-0. Rams and Detroit, the margin there is 4. And here it is Indianapolis 3 and Cleveland 0. First down Cleveland at their own 25-yard line. Are deep, it is high, it is incomplete. Reggie Langhorne, the intended receiver, sailed on him a little, and Willie Tullis was there with the defensive coverage.
Now the line of the Cleveland Browns in the last series, they got to Kozar twice, but they have generally been doing a good job, and this has been called a no-name offensive line. But take a look at it. Mike Babb, number 61 in the middle, getting help from a couple of people. 70, Larry Williams, and Kozar's got plenty of time to find his receiver downfield.
Second down and 10. The ball at the 25. Far side pass is complete. Ernest Biner goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Gain of 7. It'll be third down and 3. Dwayne Bickett was there for the defense.
And it's unusual for an outside linebacker to lead a team in tackles, but Dwayne Bickett does. Watch him because of his speed. That's the reason. He's on the coverage outside, and that's a pick play. I got to tell you, Webster slotted 54. That's a flag there. But Bickett has enough strength and enough speed to get over to Binder to make the tackle.
Pick play is illegal. Explain a pick play.
A pick play is just like in basketball, where you purposely try to run into a defensive player so that another offensive player can get free. It's illegal in the NFL.
But you get away with it a lot.
All the time.
Third down. Biner will come up short of the first down at the 34-yard line. Maybe fourth down is still a couple. And Bickett again is there to make the stop.
Yeah, the last time he slid outside. This time he takes on the blocker, comes inside, still makes the tackle. They got him lined up as a defensive end on the long yardage situation, so he's got to go up against Paul Farron, the big tackle. And he takes care of him and gets in on the play anyway.
Winslow, good kick to Bill Brooks. Fair catch taken at the 22-yard line. Flag down back at the 37-yard line. That was a fourth down and 2 kick. 44 yards. If it's a 5-yarder against Indianapolis, no, it is against Cleveland, an ineligible receiver downfield. And you may want to kick this one over. Indianapolis has their call. Take the ball at your own 24-yard line with no return, or let them do it again. And as much as that's 9 yards above George Winslow's average, they want him to do it one more time.
28, kicking team, still fourth down.
That's another Schottenheimer. That's Marty's brother. He's a special teams coach, Kurt Schottenheimer.
And not happy about that. I tell you, if they made the decision as to whether to kick it over or not with Billy Brooks, he just said no. Anytime you call for a fair catch when there's nobody 10 yards around you, you don't want to return the ball. Let's find out what Brooks does this time around.
Fourth down and 7. It's kind of a soft spot. We'll be getting to that story between the 10 and the 30-yard line at the right side. Brooks was right in the middle of that soft spot. Here's a terrible kick, short. And it'll be down at the 37-yard line. New Year's Day. Well, we've got a countdown to a championship. Boy, be sure to join us. We'll start with the Fiesta Bowl. The countdown is 4, 3, 2, 1. Fiesta Bowl, 4 and 3. Nebraska number 4. Florida State number 3. Then on to Dick and Merlin at the Rose Bowl. The Granddaddy, UCLA, Michigan State. Then to the Orange Bowl, the National Championship. Number 2, Miami. And number 1, Oklahoma. All here on NBC Sports. Indianapolis 3, Cleveland 0. Just over 7.5 minutes time remaining in the first half. Pass is complete to Matt Booza, and Booza is out with the first down near the 50-yard line. We'll give him 12 to the 49. And the first down as Mike Johnson makes the tackle. San Francisco leads by 13, Giants by 7. Seattle leading by 6 over Pittsburgh. Washington by 3. St. Louis is getting back in that ballgame. Houston big over San Diego. Atlanta continues to lead Dallas. Kansas City trails Cincinnati, and the Rams on top of Detroit. Let's call it the 50-yard line. And the pass to the 45-yard line is to Mark Boyer. So Boyer, who has been on the injured reserve list. He was out with a broken arm and had only one reception prior to this ball game, and very active today. Let's call it the 44-yard line of Cleveland. Boyer, that's, oh, I thought it was more than that. It's only his second reception for 10. Trudeau has hit 9 of 13 for 58 yards. Second down and 4. Colts lead 3-0. 6.5 to go in the second quarter. Brooks in motion. Little play action fake by Trudeau. Deep over the middle, and he hits Brooks under a full head of steam to the 12-yard line.
Charlie, they got burned with the 8-man front. They're trying to shut down Dickerson, and that's the danger of it. You got Billy Brooks running man-on-man, going through the secondary, makes the big play. There are 8 men in the line of scrimmage right there for the Cleveland Browns. Play action fake to Dickerson. That sets it up perfectly. He gets banged around by Golick just as he releases the football, but that's the danger. Look at all the room in the world for Billy Brooks. My goodness, you could build a city in there.
32 yards on the play.
And if Hanford Dixon can't cover man-to-man, he's one of the best in the league at doing it, by the way. But if he can't do it today against Brooks, and that Bear defense had better go bye-bye or the Browns are in trouble.
Brooks' third reception. He has 50 yards receiving. Trudeau, good protection. One-handed grab by Matt Bouza. Oh, that's a good reception. Now, he's got those receiving gloves on. Are there little suction cups on those? Now,
well,
tell me the truth.
What they use, they're deep-sea diving gloves.
They're little suction cups.
Yeah, they're
like an octopus.
Watch now, no human being should be able to catch a football with his left hand like that, falling backwards with a defensive back running at him full speed. Of course, it's a suction cup.
I knew it. I knew that there was a trick.
Booz also has some of the best hands in the NFL.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Second down and 7. The ball at the Cleveland 9-yard line. Colts up 3-0, and they threaten here. Dickerson is shut down. No gain. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Carl Hairston and Bob Golick make the tackle.
What a story Hairston is, huh?
Oh, he's having a great year.
Oh, he's just shy of
34.
Just shy of his 35th birthday. He leads the team with 6.5 sacks. Made a trade for him a couple of years ago. Last year, came over from Philadelphia. And
Marty Schottenheimer says he's playing the best football in his career right now. Albert Bentley is the remaining back. 3rd down and 7. Trudeau, all the time in the world. It is out of the end zone. Bouza just treading along the back edge of the end zone. Now Ron, he has the worst seat in the house. He can't tell if he was in or out. And the official was right along that back edge.
It may have been that Bouza might have stepped over the line before the ball was thrown to him because he dropped the hat down there. Let's take a look at him. Inside receiver number 85 working against the defensive back. A nice move around the corner. Does he step out before the ball gets to him?
No, he just
his back foot is out. Yeah, he's out.
Yeah, he was out.
He's
no
out
problem.
of bounds. And he didn't argue very much, and you can be sure that he'd argue quite a bit if he thought he was in.
Dean Biasucci with a 26-yard field goal attempt. Ron Stark the hold. Mark Walzak is the snapper. And it is good. So Biasucci is now hit from 33 yards and from 26 yards out. And we have a flag down. It is holding against the Colts, so they'll have to do it again. By the way, a reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion.
Number 81, offense, 10 yards, still 4th down.
Holding on the tight end, Pat B. The field here not conducive to kicking field goals. From the standpoint, it's this time of the year. It's been beat up a lot. There's not a lot of grass. It's up and down. The drainage is kind of strange.
It's also
it's right on the lake. You know.
A lot of difficulty for a kicker too. He's been standing on the sideline for most of the game. It's cold out here, and yet he's got to be able to be warmed up and into the football game anytime they call on him. Difficult for a kicker.
It is now an attempt of 37 yards. 36 yards. Ray Donaldson who is snapping. And he has it from 36 yards away. So Biasucci does it twice from 33 and 36 yards. Those are the two good ones. And it's 6-0. Indianapolis.
Now, this is the great seat by Ron Meyer, as you mentioned. He thinks he's got a touchdown. He's signaling to put the extra point team on the field, but he's going to argue with that call, isn't he?
And there was no question. A good call by the official. The time remaining exactly 4 minutes.
Here it is once again. He's beating Mark Harper. That's Booza against Harper. Turns him completely around. Tough catch going up in the corner of the end zone and then trying to get both feet in bounds because his momentum was taking him backwards. He really had no idea where the end line was. That's the reason why he couldn't get his feet in bounds. It wasn't the throw, it was his position.
At halftime, be sure to stay with us for NFL Live. Bob will be there, Ahmad, Paul, and Frank. And they'll be updating all the scores, the games that we've been talking about with highlights throughout the National Football League. They'll put this game in perspective with what is going on in the San Diego-Houston game, the Seattle-Pittsburgh game, of course, that involving Cleveland. Cleveland with a record of 7-4. Houston and Pittsburgh both a game back at 6-5. In the East, Indianapolis, Buffalo, and the New York Jets are all tied at 6-5. Buffalo, by the way, at the Raiders later on today, and New England at Denver. That's the second half of our doubleheader. Most of you will be seeing one of those two ball games, and then the Jets at Miami on Monday night. So Biasucci, who's done all the scoring thus far in the game, 6-0, will be kicking off. Glenn Young wants to take it, but instead it is taken by Fontenot. Herman Fontenot, who is off to the left wing, is the man who returned the ball out to the 26-yard line where Orlando Lowry of the Colts makes the tackle. Now, we've been talking about the standings. Let's take a look at them. In the East, Indianapolis, Buffalo, and the Jets. New England and Miami, they're both just a game back. So in reality, all 5 teams in the East are still chasing, a playoff spot. And in the Central Division, only Cincinnati is out, and they are the hard luck team, a record of 3-8, a very good football team. They will be in here next week to play Cleveland, and that game has been sold out. Kozar, little play action. Fires this one over the middle, 45-yard line, ahead a couple more. Webster Slaughter to the 48-yard line, 22 yards, first down. Mike Pryor, first big play for Cleveland. Their offense needed that.
Yeah, they certainly did. It was 2 receivers on the right side. Take a look at it. Slaughter's in the middle, number 84, number 88. That's Langhorne in the inside. I'm sorry. Slaughter just curls in between. Look, 3 men right around the circle, and Kozar drills it in between a few of them. Krause, Daniel, Cooks, they're all there. But Slaughter sneaks in behind, and a great throw by Kozar.
First down, Cleveland at the 48-yard line, moving on the 3-minute mark, time remaining second quarter. Play action fake. Pass is juggled just a bit by Mack. He holds on to it. He goes to the 44-yard line. Colt territory. Gain of 8 yards at second down and 2. Barry Krause and Dwayne Bickett make the tackle. Here's the score and the time. 2 happy offensive lines. Kozar last year gave each member of his offensive line a case of champagne for Christmas. When Eric Dickerson was the Rams, he bestowed jewelry on his offensive line. When I found out how good the jewelry was, I asked him if I could play a couple of games. Second down and 2. It was a wristwatch. They all got a very nice, very expensive. Kevin Mack in trouble. Bumps heads at a 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. Mike Pryor. Good defensive play.
And Kevin Mack has not been much of an effective running back since he went out with that injury earlier on.
Cleveland Browns. The holder is Mike Hagel. And that is Jeff Jager. Field goal and extra point kicker. And Hagel brought onto the active list to hold. Because the Cleveland Browns have had a problem with this, and they feel that the holder, the snaps have not been held correctly, and that's been a very shaky part of the ballgame. They feel from here on things are going to be close, and the playoff game's close. They want to be very positive about that area of the game. The pass is incomplete to Brian Brennan, and it'll be 4th down and 3. That's a little too far out for a field goal attempt. And Winslow will come into punt.
It's also a chance, Charlie, for the Browns to get out of that poor field position they've had. So far, their drives have begun at the 22-yard line, the 4, the 11, and the 26. Now they finally get some kind of a drive moving. If he can nail this out of bounds, they can stop the Colts. The Browns will reverse that and get a little bit of field position. Enough time left for them to get a drive going here in the first half.
Bill Brooks set for a possible return. Winslow has not been kicking that well. Their catch taken at the 15-yard line. Are you surprised by that?
I'm surprised by two things. One, again, the kick was not very good, Charlie. Two, that Brooks took another fair catch about the 15-yard line, and there was nobody with 5 or 6 yards around him. Could have got a few more yards.
Only 30 yards on the kick, but also he took it in that area. It's very soft. That has been resodded between the 10 and the 25-yard line. It's kind of watery and mushy, and there's not good footing at all.
Yeah, but you got to play football over the field. You go to the sideline, and the coach says, "Stop fair catching the football," and you say, "Hey, it's soddy out there. I mean, it's a little dry or wet." He's going to find himself another return man.
I would understand that.
Yeah.
Colts from their own 15-yard line. They'll work on the clock. Here's Dickerson. 5, 7, maybe 8 yards on the play. He is stopped by Frank Municipal. The 2-minute warning will now be given to both benches, and the Colts lead at 6-0. Repair work going on here. Now, you played here and you played on fields like this.
These kind of fields favor the offense, Charlie, because the offensive players know where they're going, where they're going to cut. People like Eric Dickerson. Defensive players don't know that.
And Dickerson leans out to the 25-yard line, so add 3 to that total that you saw, 48. He now has 51 yards. He is well on his way to the 100-yard mark.
As we take a look at the ticker, San Francisco still on top, so are the Giants, and Seattle over Pittsburgh. Defensive players, getting back to that point, Charlie, are not sure exactly where an offensive player is going to cut, so they've got to wait to react. That's why it's more difficult on the field.
And, of course, at halftime, all of the scores, highlights, updates from around the National Football League. And they'll look forward to the second half of the doubleheader. Today, the Buffalo Bills at the Los Angeles Raiders, or New England at Denver. Trudeau back to throw. Over the middle, the pass is complete. It will be shy of the first down as Mark Boyer, the H-back, pulls it in at the 32-yard line. Chris Rockin makes the tackle, and a timeout has been called. And we'll take a timeout with the Colts leading 6-0. With a banner of his own. Everywhere he goes, this year he's going to have banners like that.
Well, that banner is a holdover, of course, from the game a couple of weeks ago when the Rams were here.
Yeah, back about 6, 7.
Right, that's what he was saying, that he wanted out of Los Angeles, and that sign popped up. Well, they kept it. That's a souvenir. Good one, too.
Albert Bentley with a first down to the 42-yard line.
This shows you how much confidence the Colts have on their running game. With a minute left in the contest, or in the first half, they're still running the football. They think they can open it up and just get 1 or 2 passes to get into field goal range.
First down with a 2-minute offense underway. Trudeau's pass is complete. A good fake by Brooks to the outside. Comes back to the 50-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play on top of an 18-yard gain on the previous play. Rockins with the tackle. And now they'll stop the clock.
And if there happened to be a cop on the field, Charlie, they would have arrested Frank Municipal for mugging that time. He was all over Billy Brooks, but a nice spin move got him the football.
Brooks, his 4th reception for 58 yards. Albert Bentley has, he thought possibly that when Dickerson came that his production would go down. In reality, it's gone up. His overall production, both rushing and receiving.
It will also lengthen his career. He's not taking the pounding and the beating that he's had to take prior to Eric Dickerson coming on the scene. He's the receiving type of a back for the Colts. They like him out in the flat. He can catch the ball, has good speed. For Eric Dickerson, well, they simply want him to run the football.
In fact, Bentley has scored 5 touchdowns in the last 5 ball games. Those, of course, the 5 ball games since the arrival of Eric Dickerson. And right now, in a key time situation, 43 seconds left. Bentley's fresh, good legs. 1 timeout left for Indianapolis. Trudeau is sacked at the 40-yard line. Dave Pazzulli got him. That is the first sack for the Browns. Pazzulli with a bacterial infection of the epiglottis. That's right there in the throat, right about there. No. And he was in the hospital Thursday and Friday. Can be very dangerous. He's okay. Obviously, he's here playing and playing well.
You know why he's a nose tackle? Because his ambition is to be a professional wrestler.
I thought because with the name Pazzulio, you just, I mean, it doesn't sound like a quarterback. It sounds like a nose
That's
tackle,
right.
doesn't it?
If you're going to be a professional wrestler, a nose tackle is a perfect spot because all you do is battle a center and try to bang up against one. And he's going against Ray Donaldson, number 53 for the Colts, one of the best in football. Take a look at him in the middle of the line of scrimmage. He's wrestling with people and sneaks through. That's a wrestling move right there. That's that double toe takedown that Hulk Hogan made famous.
The double toe takedown?
That's right. And with a bad throat and all. That's a heck of a move.
There's another career awaiting you. You'll be working with Gorilla Monsoon, which I think is one of the great names for a sportscaster in the world.
Gorilla Monsoon?
Yes, don't you like that? Hi. Hi, I'm Gorilla Monsoon. Oh, really? Colts and the Browns, each with a timeout remaining. 40 seconds left. 3rd down and 11. Trudeau. Maybe a first down to Bill Brooks.
Now they've got to get back and throw the football out of bounds or try to get a second play off that they may have called in the huddle before. They're out of timeouts. 26 seconds left. Clock running down.
It is a first down.
And that's a new rule. It's a legal play in the NFL in case you have not seen it so far this year. Jack Trudeau, they're just saving a lot of formality. Before they used to have to take it and throw out of bounds somewhere. Now they allow the quarterback to simply take a snap and throw it directly to the ground. It stops the clock with 22 seconds remaining.
And it is 2nd down. 2nd down and 10, maybe 11. Let's see, they're going to. Now they have moved it back to the 49. It should be just that. It should no. Put it up there. There it is. There. It's an incomplete pass. It goes back to the line of scrimmage.
And one of the Colts fell out. I think he thought it was a fumble.
He did. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yasuchi getting ready in case he wants to take a long distance try. Trudeau, good lead pass to Bentley. 24-yarder. He lays it in perfect.
It's still a mistake, Charlie. With 22 seconds left and no timeouts, you don't throw the football down the middle of the field.
Well, they had one left. They had one left.
Right.
I gave you bum information a minute ago.
My apology. We have an
I gave you the wrong information. We've got a timeout. 15 seconds left of the half. We'll be going away. We'll be right back.
Felix Wright has made it to the sideline on his own. He seems to be doing fine and walked off under his own power. That timeout problem, the scoreboard clock showed that the Colts were out of timeouts. They are now. They had one remaining, but they are going for the field goal because, again, if they tried for a play and were unsuccessful getting out of bounds, they would not be able to get a team on the field in order for Biasucci to make the attempt.
A 41-yard field goal attempt by Dean Biasucci to go 3 for 3 in the first half. And a 9-0 lead. High snap. It is down. Will it make it? Yes. So Dean Biasucci has converted from 33, 36, and now 41 yards away. And the Indianapolis Colts lead 9-0 with 9 seconds. That's the magic number left to go in the half.
Well, Biasucci getting in a kick of his own. Certainly maybe the best kicker in the AFC right now. He's only missed 3 kicks all season long. 20 of 23 kicks on the air. Now watch this. The ball just makes it over. It had a lot of air underneath. He got the ball high enough. But watch it just curl over the post. That's a good foot by Dean Biasucci. And it also, Charlie, a nice decision on the part of Ron Meyer to go for the field goal with 15 seconds left. When I mentioned before that Jack Trudeau made the mistake going down the middle of the field, that's when our information was that he was out of timeouts. If you have one timeout left, you must keep it for the end of a half so that you can get a team on the field, a field goal team, in order to try for a field goal. Ron Meyer decided to kick it with 15 seconds remaining because he was out of timeouts, and I agree with that decision.
And we saw that in the San Diego-Denver game when San Diego had used their last timeout, could not get the field goal team on at the end of the first half and lost a possible 3 points.
And wound up stopped at about the half-foot yard. I mean, they were right at the goal line when they were unable to get a field goal kick off. And it only takes once or twice for a coach to have that happen to him. And that's why he went for the field goal with a little bit left time on the clock.
Glenn Young is the deep back as the return man for the Cleveland Browns. He, by the way, 2 years ago in '85 led the AFC in kickoff returns. Didn't make the team last year. Ended up as a door-to-door vacuum salesman. Vacuum cleaner salesman. This is just to break up any kind of a return possibility. Here's Tim Manoa out to the 38-yard line. Of course, in the last 2 minutes on a kickoff return, the clock does not start until the ball is touched in the field of play. And so they run 5 seconds off. The rest of the time, outside the last 2 minutes of each half, the clock starts when the ball is kicked off. And so that means, because of that rule, that Cleveland will have an opportunity here to get a one play. You go with the 3 wide receivers on one side and just throw it for the end zone, hope for a defensive penalty.
You may, I think you do. You throw it as far as you possibly can, get the penalty or the interference call or the touchdown. Why not?
Kozar 6 of 13. He has thrown for 65 yards in the first half. Trudeau has thrown for 147 yards, 15 of 21. Should be the last play of the half. Deep over the middle, looking for a flag. No flag. That is the end of the first half. Langhorne, the intended receiver. John Holt had excellent coverage. And the Indianapolis Colts lead the Cleveland Browns by a score of 9-0 here at halftime.
Surprising that Cleveland, with no points on the board, a lot of it had to do with their poor field position on the afternoon, Charlie. There'll be some talking going on at halftime about changing the approach of the Cleveland offense.
A little over 2-1 as far as first downs are concerned. They lead in rushing offense.